All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another clarity session. We're good to have everybody here. It's another time whereby we have these conversations around what it means to grow and have clarity in the different things that you do in your career and your business as well. So, for those that are missing the clarity session for the first time, clarity session is literally a webinar that helps people, millennials, to get the clarity that not only strengthens confidence and capabilities, but equips people to go all out in pursuit of their dreams. So, the idea of this is the more information you know, the more equipped you are to pursue your dreams, the more equipped you are to say, "This is what I want to do." And we also believe that once you have a clarity of intention, once you are clear about this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, the universe conspires with you to make it happen. Today, we're talking about finance and financial intelligence for modern professionals. And the idea of this topic is how do we have a conversation around helping people make smarter financial decisions? Some people can make money, some people can keep money, some people can grow money. The idea of money is supposed to have a purpose. Money is supposed to be able to work to make more money for us. And so we want to discuss how we can strategically grow our income, savings, and investment while also navigating career growth and life transition. The idea for this generally is that we want to be able to build things that outlives us, things that grows beyond us. And today we have Jesu Pelumi Oluwagbemi, who is going to be taking us in the session. She's the founder of the Financial Literate and the author of Coming to Landmark, a personal finance novel that simplifies money principles through storytelling. She holds a first-class degree in accounting from Bowen University, Nigeria, and an MBA with honors from Alba Graduate School, Greece. She's a certified personal and financial planning for the University of Florida, USA, and also an associate chartered accountant, a chartered global investment analyst, and a certified financial educator instructor. Through her work, she's passionate about equipping young adults with the knowledge and structure that they need and to also build wealth intentionally and sustainably. Without further ado, please let's welcome Jessica Lumi as she runs us through the session. So over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Nifemi, for that introduction as well as preliminary foundation, right? Sorry. So thank you, and thank you for what you do at Motley Inspires. Like I remember that I personally have benefited from some of the clarity sessions we've had, and you've been on this for a while. How many years now? So the consistency. Well done, well done, well done. I know there's something my pastor used to say. He says consistency over intensity. Right? It's not let's do one big thing and then you disappear and you come back to another big thing and you disappear. But consistency over the intensity. So well done. And thank you for having me here
Thank
on
you.
Motley Inspires. It's a privilege, it's an honor. I say thank you. Okay. So as not to waste any further time. We just jumped we jumped right into today's session. Apologies for that. All right. So I have like an icebreaker, basically just some statements to warm up the room as well as to, you know, do a bit of a reflection of your personal finances, your personal life, and all of those things. So we have about 10 questions, right? And then by now, we should know the popular put a finger down challenge thing, right? So you have 10 fingers up, put a finger down. So you can also write, you can also write them down if you want to. But basically, you have your 10 fingers up and then you put a finger down for each of the statements that I would make. So the first one is put a finger down if you do not track your income and expenses consistently. If you do not track your income and expenses consistently, put a finger down. The second one is put a finger down if investing is not yet a fixed part of your monthly return. So it's not like a bill that you have on your monthly budget, right? Put a finger down. Number three, put a finger down if you spend first and save or invest whatever is left. Now, there are some people who would say, oh, investment is part of my fixed, is a fixed part of my monthly routine. But then at the same time, they are investing after they finish spending. So that's number three. Put the finger down if you spend or first and save or invest what is left. Number four, put a finger down if you have not ever, ever monetized your skills or knowledge. Sorry, put a finger down if you have not ever monetized your skills or knowledge. Number five, put a finger down if you have delayed investing because you felt you did not have enough money. Like, had I when I have more money, I will start investing. All right, number six, put a finger down if you do not review your finances regularly. If you do not review your finances regularly, put a finger down. Okay, apologies for this. Number seven, put a finger down if you have never clearly defined your financial goals. Like, at the beginning of the year when people are doing, oh, my goals for the year. If you have not clearly defined your financial goals at any point in time, put a finger down. Number eight, put a finger down if you have ever heard about an opportunity after others had already benefited. You came late to the party. Put a finger down. Number nine, we're almost there. Number nine, put a finger down if you do not actively seek financial information consistently. If you do not actively seek financial information consistently, put a finger down. And number 10, last but not the least, put a finger down if you know from the depth of your heart that you can do better with your money decisions. Put a finger down if you know you can do better with your money decisions. All right. That was sorry.
Seven fingers are still up.
Sorry, apologies about that, please. All
Bro,
right, seven fingers are still up. Perfect.
really
Bravo,
seven
amazing.
fingers down.
And the truth is that, and that's a good part. I used to say something that financial literacy is not a destination; it's a journey. So whether you have seven fingers still up, or you have 10 fingers still up, or you have zero finger up, like everything down, or you have two fingers, no matter the number of fingers you have left, financial literacy is a journey. But the key is that awareness is the first step. So if you're already aware, then it is easy for you to grow and become the person you should be financially. All right. Okay. So we live in this generation whereby we have more young professionals earning more than ever before. If I can be sincere, I feel like we have more people earning more than let's say years back. Now I know people will come and say, "Oh, there's an inflation beat, and that the money they were earning there could afford some things that people who are earning way more than that cannot even afford." And yes, we get that part, we get that bit, right? But then the truth is that you cannot compare the opportunities we have now with those who were like in who were living in previous years, because now we have advanced technology. We have people who can easily earn money online. We have people working in one country and there's some people living in one country and they are working for a company in a different country. I know if we bring it home to Nigeria, we have people who are living in Nigeria, people who live in Nigeria and they earn money abroad, they earn dollars, they earn euros, they earn all of those things. So we have more opportunities, right, to earn more. But the truth is that more people are earning more than ever before, but they are not necessarily building wealth, right? And that's because earning more does not automatically translate into you being wealthy. Income does not translate into assets, does not translate into wealth. basically. So if you should break it down, what is financial intelligence? Let's start from the basics, let's start from the scratch, right? Financial intelligence is not just about how much you earn, like I tried to establish before. It's not just about how much you earn, but it's about how you think, how you decide, and how you position your money. Now, let me take it one after the other. How you think. I can never stop talking about the importance of your mindset when it comes to making money. For a lot of people, or for a number of people, I heard them say things around, oh, I'm just bad with money. I'm bad with saving. I don't know how to see something and not buy it impulsively. I cannot just save, no matter how much I try to, I cannot just save. Uh, people say, well, people say different things, and it's just a function of their mindset. And the truth is that if you keep yourself stuck in a particular mindset, you cannot move out of that mindset. You just realize that for every single time, you cannot save more, you cannot earn more, and then you wonder why. It's primarily because of your mindset. So financial intelligence is not even about how much you earn. While we will get to that part, right? It goes beyond how much you earn to how you think, how you decide, and how you position your money. How you decide in the sense that um, everybody is going left. You just say, okay, yes, I'm going left. Do you just follow the crowd? Do you systematically take decisions that will strategically align with your long-term goals, with your financial goals, all of these things. And then finally, how you position your money. Because as I mentioned too, it's not even about earning well, it's not just about income, it goes beyond income to turning that income into assets, turning that income into wealth for you. So I'll do a recap again. I would say financial intelligence is not about how much you earn, it is about how you think. It's about how you decide. It is about how you position your money. I know I will keep saying it that in today's economy, professionals must move from just being income earners to strategic wealth building. And because of that, I love to work with numbers. So whenever I'm teaching teaching, I love to work with numbers. So I love to say, okay, I have four pillars, I have 3 points, I have so that it helps for remembrance. So today I have four core pillars of financial intelligence, four core pillars. And the first one I would say is income is not wealth, like I had mentioned. There's a need for investment. And fine, I know the first thing people would come to say is that um how do I get money for investment? Because we keep saying go and invest, go and invest, go and invest, but firstly, you need to get money that you would invest, right? And that's where we start from the fact that if you are a 9 to 5 um, earner, or you are a professional, you are into paid employment, or you are in the professional world, you already have a good leverage in the sense that you have fixed income. And then what a fixed income can help you do is that you can put aside an amount of money on a regular basis into investments, right? While I will still go into that later on, but let's even start with the basics. We started with an icebreaker. We had discussed some statements. I had said, put a finger down if you do not, if you do not do that. And then, the truth is that one of the statements we had said was, um, put a finger down if investment is not a fixed part of your monthly return. So if you're a professional now and every month you do not have an amount of money that you put aside into investments, then something is wrong. Or rather, let me rephrase it to mean you are not making the most of your income. You have fixed income for a reason. And then one of the reasons you can leverage on is to ensure that as you get your salary, a portion of your money goes into investment. And the truth is that you can never at any point feel like you've gotten enough money. So some people would say, oh, I don't have enough money. Maybe when I start earning more. I'll be able to take aside money monthly for my investments. But you know, I was still having that discussion with a group of people last weekend. And I was like, remember there was a point in time in our lives where we felt like, oh, when I start earning X amount of money, that money will be very big. And at that time, I'll be able to take aside an amount of money, right, and put it into investment. But the truth is that if you look at it, well, most times you even past earning that amount of money. You even started earning more than what we had said, oh, if we have that money, we'll be able to invest. Most times we already even started earning more. And then we are still having that challenge in still investing monthly. And that is because it's not a matter of how much you earn, it's a matter of how you can build that discipline, right? It's a matter about how you can build that discipline. Another thing I was going to mention too on that is that um there's this principle. I was trying to get the name of it before the meeting, but I forgot. It says, as your income increases, your expenses will always rise to meet your income. That is it. As the income increases, your as the income increases, your expenses will always rise to meet your income. So I'm just trying to emphasize the point that if you ever feel like, oh, there's going to be a perfect time to start investing, that time is not going to come. You're the one who would very intentional and say, oh, I want to start investing a particular amount of my money monthly, right? Or on a regular basis. And there are some things I just wrote here that income is active, but wealth is built through assets, right? Wealth is built through assets, and it's not just about earning I. Can you convert that earning I into wealth building, right? And then um you have skills, you have knowledge you can monetize, right? One of the things we had also discussed at the beginning of the session was that do you have you ever monetized any of your skills or knowledge? And I think it's very important because we all have something we can do. We have skills. I know people would say, oh, everybody's not into business. Yes, you don't have to be into business, but that doesn't mean you do not have skills or knowledge you can monetize. Right? Even in the professional world, even in the corporate world, like go beyond earning a 9 to 5 to even you seeing that, oh, you actually have skills, you actually have knowledge that you can monetize, right? So look in depthly. If you have not started monetizing any of your skills or your knowledge, then you need to look in depthly to see, okay, what skills do I have? And don't look down on any of your skills, right? These are things that people would be willing to pay for. So what skills do you have? What knowledge do you have that you can monetize, right? So basically, it's just to know that once you can earn money from your paid employment if you're a 9 to 5 earner, right? You can also earn money from your skills and your knowledge. Then it is easy for us to start talking about passive income, right? Because before you invest, you need to get money from somewhere. So it's easy for us to start talking about investment when you have enough money or when you are earning more. So you have your fixed income, you have your knowledge, you have your skills. These are avenues through which you can earn money and then you can then start building assets, right, from the income you earn. Now, saving alone is not a strategy. Very important. I know a lot of people they prefer to see, there's just this joy in your heart to see your income, your money in your bank accounts. Like when you open your bank accounts and you see that money, you can see it. There's this joy that it gives you. You can give yourself a tap on your shoulder and say, "Oh, see how far I have come," right? And then the truth is that saving alone is not a strategy because we have the inflation. Inflation quietly reduces idle money, right? I know recently I was talking to um an NYSC core member here in Nigeria, and then I was just asking the person, how much do you guys earn now? And the person was like, oh, they earn over 100K. And I was like, over 100K. When I was serving, we were earning 18,900. 18,900 naira. That was how much we were earning then. And you guys are earning what now? 100 and something K. And I was like, you guys are balling. And the person was like, no, 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 no. If you look at it very wrong. Whatever we were able to achieve with that 18,900 years ago, they are struggling to achieve it with this 100K plus that they are earning. And that's just the danger of inflation. That's the enemy called inflation, right? And that's because inflation quietly reduces your money. So you, if you feel like, oh, let me just keep saving my money, the truth is that inflation will keep eating out the purchasing power of your money. Fine, you can still be seeing your money in your bank account, but the truth is that it is reducing the purchasing power of your money. So all of this is just to say that you have to bring in investment if you want to be financially intelligent. You have to make your money work for you. You have to get to the point whereby even when you are sleeping, your money can still make money for you. And that's what we call passive income. We also have portfolio income similar to it, stocks and bonds and all of those things, which we will go into later. But just to establish the fact that you cannot say you are financially intelligent if you do not have, or if you do not have a portion of your income going into investments regularly, right? Investment is a bill that you give your future. So whenever you earn money and you're talking about, oh, I need to pay for my rent, I need to pay for the gas, I need to pay for groceries, and all of those things, you need to also talk about investments. Now, when you're talking about investments, it's also good for you to identify your investment identity, right? We have investors who are aggressive investors. We have the balanced investors. We have the low risk investors, right? And then there's really no right or wrong identity. It's just about having a balanced portfolio, which still primarily suits your identity, right? There are people who are very risk. They are aggressive when it comes to risk, right? And there are people who are very risk averse, right? But the truth is, the good thing is that you just know your identity because you should not be going on a particular investment journey because others are going on it, right? Basically, I used to say, understand your risk appetite. Risk appetite is the level to which you feel that you can take the news that your money has been consumed in investment, right? There are some people when they hear that maybe they've lost their capital or they've lost their returns on their investments, they can land in the hospital. And there's some people they just say it is one of those things. We move, we go again, we take the next good opportunity. So understand the extent to which you can land in the hospital, and that's why you know your risk appetite basically. But understand your investment identity and the consistency over intensity. We had started with that conversation with that statement consistency. So even if it's just a little amount of money you put aside on a regular basis, but still ensure that you are putting aside money into investments. Okay. Let me go on to the next thing. In terms of investments, because time will not permit me to go in depth into it, but these are there some things you can check out, right? Which we'll still touch on in business later on. But then we have the low risk, we have the medium risk, we have the high risk. Also, we're speaking about your identity, understanding the level of risk you can take, your risk appetite. So all of these things you need to bring them into your investment process and journey. So the second thing I would talk about is your financial associations. So the first pillar is that your income is not wealth. So you are earning a lot does not translate into you are building wealth because income is not wealth, right? And we've spoken something about that. Now the next pillar is your financial associations, right? And then I always say something that you do not rise to your level of your goals, you fall to your level of your environment. So who do you associate yourself with? Let's start with that. Who do you associate yourself with? um it's good to have friends around us. It's good to have good friendship circles, right? But then your financial circle also influences your financial outcomes. So if you have friends that you are surrounded with people who they are spenders, they are consistently the um let's spend our money. You only live once set of people, the YOLO kind of people. Before you know it, you just realize that even if you want to be disciplined, you are finding it difficult to stick with that level of discipline. Why? Because there's a force around you pulling you towards them. There's this illustration that we used to hear when we were growing up, and usually this illustration around the fact that you cannot, if you have somebody up and you have somebody down, and then you're trying to pull the person up, it is easier for the person to pull you down for you to pull the person up, right? That's the illustration that we heard a lot when we were growing up. But then the truth is just that um you can bring that into your friendship circle. If you have a friendship circle that is always spending, they are not builders, they are not rough builders. So you know they'll pull you into being one of them. Right. Another thing is just that normalize having conversations with people around you about investments, because you can always learn one or two things from them, right? Also learn some people who are ahead of you financially. You know, recently I was able to get a since I was able to get a good financial opportunity, right, that made me good money. And it's just started from a conversation with a friend, and then we are talking, and then the person was like, how about this, that. I'm trying to make we started talking, and you know, introduced me to a good opportunity. And before you know it, I was able to get some money from it. Now, I'm not saying that you should only have friends because of money. But the truth is that they always say something, and that your net worth is your net worth. Who do you surround yourself with? Who are the people you have in your circles? What do you guys constantly discuss, right? And you can always create that environment. Go out, meet with people, network, meet people, right? Have conversations. At times, it's just something here, something there. You hear something here, you hear something there. And before you know it, you just realize that, oh, there are even opportunities around me that I cannot see them all. But, you know, as financially intelligent people, we also need to look at the people you have in your surroundings, people you have around you, people who surround you, right? And that leads me to the third point, because the third pillar is similar to the second pillar, which is about staying informed. You cannot talk about being financially intelligent as a professional and you are not constantly informed, you are not abreast of what is going on. And how can you remain abreast? Basically, it also goes into the associations you keep, right? And then I always say something around join groups. And these days we have a lot of um financially free communities that you can join. I had a brunch over the weekend, and then I had a research analyst come over. It was a finance brunch basically, but I had a finance research analyst come over with one of the big asset management firms in Nigeria, and the guy was just talking about stocks and enlightening my community about stock, right? And then, you know, he was saying something, and he was saying something around we have a lot of stockbrokers who even give out recommended stocks to buy, right? And it's just for you to sign up and subscribe um to their newsletter, right? Be a part of their subscribers list. And then every Monday or every Friday, they send out stock recommendations for the week. I think it's every Monday they send out stock recommendations for the week. Now, this is absolutely true. And people don't know because maybe for some reason they just don't know how to stay informed. But this is information you have there that is free. I know, and I said something at the beginning of this class, I mean, at the beginning of this session, pardon me. I had said that lately or in this generation we have more opportunities to make wealth, and one of the reasons is the fact that we have advanced technology, right? We are in the jet age. Basically, we're in jet age. We have advanced technology, and basically we can use technology and leverage technology to our own benefit. We have online communities. We have email subscribers list that we can be part of, newsletters, newsletters and subscribers list we can be part of, all of these things that we can be part of, right? Just be around people that you can learn from. Your associations matter a lot. And someone said something like opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. You know, at times something becomes very popular after some people have already benefited from it. But then the people who benefited from it at the inception, they already had access to information, right? And that's why it's good to always be among associations. Now we have um I'm trying to remember the name of this community. Money Africa, sorry. We have Money Africa, we have something money wise, we have financial girl Jennifer, we have personal finance girl, we also have the financial literate, which is my own community, right? We have communities here in Nigeria and even abroad. We have Ashley Fox for the US. We have there's someone else coming to my head right now. So we have we have a number of communities, either that you're in Nigeria or you're out of Nigeria. You can even browse on finance, Instagram finance community. A lot of people they are on Instagram, they're on Twitter, they're on YouTube, and we have communities out there that you can be a part of. And, most of them are even free. You just subscribe and they get information. So basically, follow credible financial platforms. You understand? Ask questions. Keep asking questions. Curiosity is an advantage, right? Don't even think you're asking stupid questions. Keep asking. Also understand basic asset classes. Understand what are stocks, what are bonds, what do they mean? Can you access them? What about real estate? What is your understanding of it? Keep asking questions because information reduces fear, right, and improves decision making. So it's very important that you stay informed because the truth is that opportunities favor the aware. That's just the truth. The people who are quick to information, those are the people that opportunities favor. And then the last pillar that I would like to talk about is structure. I cannot say it enough. Structure over speed. It still comes back to my point of um consistency over intensity, right? Build intentionally. I know we are in this generation where people are just like, how can I make money tomorrow? Somebody once reached out to me to say he has a dilemma and is looking for how they can make how much did they even mention, but it's a high amount of money. I think millions of money in maybe he said in 1 week. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe you should go and look for the person who can give you this information somewhere else because it cannot be me, basically. And that is we want speed, we want instant results. But the truth is that at times this thing takes time, and that's what we need to understand as a modern professional because back then people of that age they understood the fact that at times you need to be patient, right? They understood the importance of patience and they were able to patiently wait for their efforts to pay off. But as a modern professional now, we are more into I want something that can give me overnight success. You see that syndrome of overnight success. Delayed gratification has now become weird, um, a weird phrase to use because why should I wait for something when I can have it now? Right? That's the kind of generation we live in right now. But the truth is that for you to build intentionally, for you to build wealth, you need to understand that you need structure over speed. You need consistency over intensity. So avoid impulsive investments and trends. Fine, I said in the previous point, I talked about you being able to access opportunities, right? While they are still accessible, but at the same time, you also need to avoid the trendy, impulsive trends. And I remember there was a time when there was this Ponzi scheme. In fact, not just one time. At different times, we've had Ponzi schemes come out. I know whenever they come out, we always have the people who fall victims of these schemes, and that's because at times people don't ask questions. People don't even they're not curious. They just Somebody just tells them that, I got money from this opportunity, or I got money from this platform, without thinking twice, without even asking questions, without doing your own due diligence, without doing your own research. They just put their money into it. And the truth is that avoid impulsive investments. Whatever you are investing, do you understand it? Do you understand what you are investing in? And of course, build a simple, repeatable financial system. So if your financial system is that on the first day of every month, I'm going to transfer maybe 10% or 20% of my income into investment, it is a system you can easily repeat, right? It is a system that you can put on autopilot in a way, because you can even have it can automate the debit right to your investment account, right? Or whatever your platform you are investing with, right? Basically, it's just about build a simple, repeatable financial system, something you know that you can easily you can easily repeat on a monthly basis, on a periodic basis, right? Of course, also think long term. It's not just about whatever you can get today. Think long term. Okay, so clear, clear financial goals. Those are something we had mentioned at the beginning of the session. What goals do you have financially? As a person, do you have a financial goal for the next 3 to 5 years? Let's even start from that. Do you have a goal of, okay, a short-term goal? This is how much I want to have in maybe investments in assets at the end of 1 year. So when we came into year 2026, people had goals for the year, people had New Year resolutions. Yes, it's all good, but then do you also, or did you also create your financial goals for the year? It's actually not so late. We are just 2 months in the year. We still have 10 months to go. So if you did not at the beginning of the year, this is the good time. This is the best time for you to do that. Don't wait any further. So write out what is my financial goals in the next 1 year, or at the end of 2026. Also at the end of 3 years. Now, even when you feel like I'm not sure how this will play out, but there's just that power of writing things out and envisioning things. Personally, I've benefited from that exercise. Even when I write things down and then for maybe financial goals for years. Now, at that point, I may not have even known fully well how I'm going to get there. But just writing things out, just envisioning, right? Just putting it out plain on a paper or on a notepad, somewhere you can see them from time to time. It just creates this mind shift for you. It gives you this um inner motivation, right? And before you know it, everything just aligns for your good and it aligns for you. So that is it. Set clear financial goals. Of course, what we are talking about, you envisioning something good. We're not talking about fantasizing about you getting money that that you cannot get, right? It's not just about mere full wishful thinking, right? Oh, sorry, mere wishful thinking rather, but it's also about something is realistic. It's fine for your goals to even scare you, right? They should be big enough to scare you basically, but they should still be realistic. Yes. So automate your investments where possible. This is something that I talked about. That if you want a reputable financial system, automate. Also be aligned in terms of the investments, budget with the purpose. Your investments should be a portion of your monthly, be a portion of your monthly routine, basically. It should be a fixed part of your routine. So if you earn money, you should be able to say, oh, I am putting aside an amount of money monthly into my investments now. All right. So now I have some things on investment because throughout the session, we're talking about investment. But there are some things I want to say which is going to encapsulate everything that I've been talking about. If we go back to the beginning, right, we had said financial intelligence is not just about how much you earn, but it is about how you think, how you decide, and how you make, how you position your money. Let's go back to it. Now we've spoken about the 4 pillars of financial intelligence. Now I want us to go back to the definition again, putting all the things, all these pillars that we've discussed. Let's put it back into definition. Now, how you think. I've mentioned the fact that if your mindset is the one where you feel like, oh, I'm not good with money, I cannot save money, there's no how, I just don't overspend at the end of the month, then there's a need for a mind shift. So there's an exercise I would encourage each and every one of us to do. What are your beliefs about money? Do you think money is good or money is bad? Do you think you can get wealth? Do you even think making money is evil? Because there are some people who have associated making money with evil. So they feel like money is evil, right? So why should you make money? At the same time, ask yourself, do I think money is evil? Do I think I can make and earn enough money? Do I think I can even earn abundantly, right? Do I believe I can save and invest money? Do I believe so much in money? Do I put so much trust in money? So this is just like a wake up call for us to analyze our belief system because at times if you don't even know, maybe your beliefs that are holding you back, right? So analyze your belief system. What do you believe about money? Number two, how you decide. Now, what structure do you put in place regarding decisions on money? Do you spend impulsively or do you take time to think? Do you even budget? Let's even start with that. Do you have a budget? Because if you are a modern professional and you do not budget, please, please, there's a need for a shift. I always say something, you don't budget in your head. You and that's a good thing that things have become so digitalized. Like you in fact online you can even see a budget tracker, a budget sheet. I even have one on my website that is free. You just go and download the resource on my website, www.thefinancialliterates.com under the resources tab. It's a free resource. I know other websites too that you can download a free budget sheet. So if you are not even one into the paper and biro thing, you can just pick it up as a spreadsheet, put it on your phone, on your tab, on your laptop, whatever you're using, right? Basically, how do you even decide? How do you make decisions with your money? Make your budget for every income you receive. You make a budget, right? And budget is not limiting how you spend your money. It's just basically telling you how you should spend your money, and it should suit your personality. So basically, the budget should suit your lifestyle, and if you can budget well, you realize that you'll be able to touch all your priority goals. You'll be able to live a balanced life, right? So, how do you decide with money? Do you budget? And when you budget, do you put investments as part of your monthly routine? At the same time, do you make impulsive investments? At the same time, are you around people who can help you be informed and make informed decisions? If you don't have associations that you finance communities that you've joined, then this is a good time to do so, unless you cannot say you are financially intelligent. At the same time, if you do not have friends around you who can speak or who can have conversations around investments with you, then something you do. And I used to say something that you can turn your friendship circle into a money circle. And how can you do that? You can basically you can basically what's it called? Sorry, you can basically have within your friendship circle, you guys can read financial books together, you can attend financial seminars, you can even pool funds together. Now, there was something that I did in my community this year. At the beginning of the year, I had said, you know what, this year we're going to have accountability bodies. So we had done the peering in the group so that such that um, everybody in the group has an accountability body, right? So while on the group, we from time to time we drop financial information, we drop lecture sessions, we drop all of those things. We have somebody in their inbox, right, who is a member of the community, but specifically and uniquely placed for you to remind you all of these things about sticking to your financial goals, about growing proper financial habits, right? And then, we had a brunch over the weekend, and I was speaking to some people, and I was like, okay, what has been your experience in the group? What is it that has benefited you the most? And I had a couple of people say, oh, the accountability budgeting thing has helped me a lot. And that's because with accountability, you can do more. So if you have friends, good friends around you, you can turn your friendship circle into a money circle. You guys can keep yourself accountable, right? You have goals. You can even invest together if you trust each other. But if you don't even want to invest together, there are people who would like to do things independently. But if you want to do things independently, if you have people around you who can, from time to time, remind you, oh, maybe we tell each other that every first day of the month or every last day of the month, we will transfer money into our investments. Then you know that your friends are keeping you accountable at the end of the month. Okay, at the end of the month, they're like, how far have you transferred your money? Okay, I transferred my money. Okay, I'm here to transfer my money. Thank you for reminding me. But when you know that there's someone who will keep you accountable, you are not tempted to say, oh, this month, everywhere, expenses choked. I'm choked up with expenses and I cannot, invest this month. So therefore, let me spend the money into something else. I just remembered something today. I was reading a post on Instagram, and the person said that there was a time she almost spent her tithes at a wedding party. So back then we did not really have the bank transfer system working then. And then, he had put aside that money that she was going to go and pay it as tithe in church on Sunday. Then she went for a wedding on Saturday. And then the live band, they kept on hailing her, singing her praises. I know she was tempted to carry that money and, start spraying the live band. And then, there's also thinking about how at times it's very easy for us to fall into some temptations and even spend money over things that later on when you sit there you just start regretting. But all of these things, if you know you have somebody who is keeping you accountable, you know that you and your friends will still sit down to do review session later on, you are more inclined into sticking to your financial goals. So basically, how you decide is very, very important. Also association. Something came to my mind today, a few minutes ago about association. I was reading something about 2 or 3 days ago. I posting the last signing day of Money Africa. She was talking about when um when MCN Nigeria did their IPO, initial public offer. They were selling their shares at either 49 naira or 69 naira per share. And now MTN Nigeria share, one share as the price of one share rather has gone up to I think 500 or 700 and something, one of the two. I can't just remember. But I remember that time when the IPO started, we had put it in our group to say, oh, MTN Nigeria just released the IPO of our in the initial public offer, sorry, the IPO. They brought out the IPO for everyone. This is a good opportunity to invest. I know last year, due to the capitalization requirements set by the CBN, a lot of banks to open up their shares to the public. Now, if you're around people who can give you this information, you can stay informed and it helps your decision making. So, going back to the pillars and connecting the pillars back to the definition, the friends you keep, the associations you keep will help you in making money informed or well informed decisions. And lastly, how do you position your money? We've spoken about investments, right? And then, I'd also spoken about the fact that we have um different risk appetites. I'll try to see if I can get the link, but if I cannot get the link, it's something you can, because I know there's a particular site that I love to refer people to. But if I cannot get the link before the end of this call, um, please just search online for risk personality test. They are free tests basically. So they'll ask you some questions, and then from your questions, from the questions they ask you, you can then go ahead to know where you fall into. Are you a risk taker Are you a moderate um, risk? Do you have a moderate risk personality? Are you risk averse or are you an aggressive risk taker? By the time you understand it, and then it helps you now position your money properly, right? So I know I also encourage a mix or in your portfolio, and then for someone who is a let's say a low risk personality now, I could say, okay, keep about 50% of your income, of your investment into low risk items, things like fixed deposit, things like treasury bills, things like mutual funds. Keep 50% of your investment into this, right? Then another 30% can be into medium risk, right? You talk about real estate, talk about agriculture, right? REITs, ETFs, basically you can put them into like 20%, I mean 30% into medium risk medium risk um, investments. And then the last 20%, you can do high risk, talk about stocks, because stocks are volatile. I know, even though some people say that a stock can be medium risk, I would still put them in high risk items because yes, they're volatile, they go up, they go down, and they can crash from time to time. So keep 20% into high risk um, investment. So basically, you understanding your risk personality will help you know what portfolio you should have. And by the time you get that portfolio, you can better put your money, your investments into a portfolio that will give you peace of mind at the same time, make the most of your money. But how do you position your money? Are you structured in how you position your money, or you just put, let me just save my money, or let me put my entire money into a particular class, right, of investment? How do you position your money so well such that you can make the most of your income, of your investment? So I hope that with all of these things I've said, I would just do another recap again. And I said, it's just about how much you earn. It's not about how much you earn. It's about how you think, how you decide, and how you position your money. And then we've talked about four core pillars of financial intelligence. We look at the fact that income is not wealth, you need investment. And then how can you even get investment? If you have 9 to 5, if you are a 9 to 5 earner, you have a good opportunity that you can leverage on in building income for your investment or building money for your investment, right? Then you can also monetize your skills and knowledge. If you do not have skills and knowledge to monetize, it's time for you to do a reflection in the year 2026. Then savings is not just a it's not a good strategy, savings alone, right? You need to put your money into it because inflation will rip you quickly of the purchasing power of your money, right? Also know your investment identity, understand the allocation mix that works well for you. The second thing we talked about is also the fact of your environment matters a lot because sure you fall to the level of your environment. So what financial associations do you keep? Number three, stay informed. Do you belong to credible financial platforms? Like it's not funny thing that people belong to different clubs or different things. Even Instagram, know the people you're following, but they also have financial patterns you can follow, right? That will make you informed, keep you informed. And the final thing is structure over speed, structure consistency over intensity, right? Do you just impulsively spend, invest, or do you have a structure you follow, right? Set structure, set a good system that you know you can easily repeat on a monthly basis. An example I gave was that maybe we say at the end of every month, that the last day of every month, I transfer money from my income accounts to my investment account, right? Or you say last day of every month, I do a review of my finances because you can't talk about structure if you don't even review your finances. If you don't know where your money go, your money, you don't know where it goes into, you don't know how you spend your money, you don't budget. Then what structure are we talking about here? So this wraps the end of today's session. Basically, it's just a reminder that we are in the age where we earn more. For earning more, of course, does not translate into building wealth. You need to be intentional in building wealth. And I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that financial intelligence is very important as a modern professional. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I feel like that was very informative, and thank you so much for sharing and for everything that you had shared. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone as well that has taken out time to listen. Also, so we're going to just quickly go into questions. But before we go into questions, we have a form on the chat. So if anybody wants to ask, anybody who wants to receive the recording, please just fill out the form so that we can send the recording to you right after this session as well. So if you want to receive recording, also Jessica Bellamy mentioned a link. So we can also attach that link to the thank you email that was sent to everybody. So please try to fill out the form. It's in the chat right now. It's just a simple form. You scroll to the bottom, your name, email, and just your name and email. That's all. We don't need any other thing, and we'll send you all of the information. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions? So if you want to ask questions, you can either just send it on the chat or you can just raise your hand. Okay. Omodulo, please go ahead and speak.
Uh, so speaking about financial intelligence, lately, I've been, I mean, you have to make money first before you like invest. So, I mean, lately I've been looking into it also, but I mean, I need like proper. I know we've read from universities, from secondary schools about investment and the importance of it, and we do know the importance of it. However, like the right material to read changes from generation or from time to time. I think for my ends, what I'll be asking is, what are the right, where can I get the right materials to read for now? I'm not just talking about maybe books on investment or, but like I'm talking on books on pattern of investment. Like you want to know which company to invest in. What are the things that you should read? Where should you read them? Where would you? Which websites hold this information for? You know, every company that has been capitalized, every company that has been listed. Um, what are the things to check in those companies? I mean, their books. How do you check their books? What to check in their books and all that? Those kind of information prior to investing is what's basically set the pace between a good investor and a bad investor. And where can one get those information? That's like what um I'm looking into or I'm looking to get.
Okay, so thank you very much for your question. If I mean, what's the approach in taking questions? Do we take all the questions or do we answer the questions
No, you
one
can
after the
answer.
other?
I think you can answer.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that question because the funny thing is that on Saturday, over the weekend, we had the same question asked to from someone. So regarding patterns of investment, I would say that we have the principles have not changed, right? Now, stock investments years ago is still what stock investments are today, right? This principle has not changed, but we also need to understand that we have changing modalities, right, to things. For instance, maybe years ago, for you to invest in stocks, you have to go to the stockbroker's office. Right? You will now go to the office and say, I want to invest in stocks. Well, now you can, from the comfort of your phone, just invest, right? The approach might have changed, the modalities might have changed, but the principles, they have still remained the same, right? So about investments principles are the same, but then you need to understand the modalities and the approaches and everything. And that brings me back to my point on that brings me back to my point of associations. How can you get this information? Where can you learn them from? Associations, right? What platforms do you follow? Because the truth is that even if you talk about a book, if somebody publishes a book and in the book the person says, oh, top 50 stocks worth investing now. Say 1 year down the line, that might that might have changed. So you need something that you know that you can easily get information from time to time. Now regarding stock investment that you mentioned, we have stockbrokers who they do that work for you, because for a layman, you do not know what to check in financial statements, right? And then you want to get this information, right? You want to get information. But the stockbrokers, that's what they do, and they provide what stock recommendations. They're not actually telling you to go and invest there. They're not advising you, but like these are from our analysis. These are some stocks worth investing. And that's what I mentioned. Maybe were there when I had spoken about the fact that some of the stockbrokers they have their subscribers list that you can just sign up for their newsletters, and then I think every Friday, every Monday. I know that FBN Quest, you can go there. I think ARM too. There's another one coming to my head. Um, custodian, custodian. Some of this custodian is another one, but these are some that I can remember from the top of my head right now. But once you just subscribe to be on their newsletter list, you get weekly stock recommendations, right? So they do the work because you may not know what to look at. You look at qualitative and quantitative information. You look at the management style, quality of the management staff, a lot of things that you need to look into, and then you may not know that as a layman. So that's why we have free information at your fingertips, basically. Because once you sign up, you just get the stock recommendations that they can give based on their analysis. So yes.
Thank you so much.
Then, so just to chip it into, sorry about that. I also mentioned finance communities you can follow on Instagram. We have Money Africa, we have Personal Girl Finance, we have Financial Jennifer. We also have the Financial Literacy, my own community. So basically, these people from time to time, from time to time, they drop what's it called? um they drop information, they give you information of what you have, what is available. Thank you very much for sharing. They give you information. I know that's even websites, even on Instagram, you have the communities that you can easily join on Instagram. They let you know, oh, this company is releasing the IPO, this company is going public, this commercial paper is out open for you to invest in. So all of these things, and that boils down to the associations you keep, right? The credible platforms you follow. And the good part of this is that in this advanced technology age, we have things out there for free. So yes, that's how you can get information.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I think it's also like to just start small. I remember, well, as small as you can. There's no definition of small here. I remember when I started, maybe like put like 50K every month, and because I'm like, if I lose 50K, I'm okay. But as I began to like grow in terms of understanding the benefits of just having, I mean, I don't still do crazy stuff when it comes to like investment. Like I maybe I just have 5 stocks and I keep to those 5 and I'm good. Like I don't wake up thinking, oh, maybe I'm missing out on another stock. And that's just me. It's not like every other person. So maybe I don't do a lot of drama. Stock funds stock is, is what it is for me in those 2 areas. So I think it's just, and again, I know that you say that we need to make money, but I also think that there are some things about that is not theoretically correct. Because the reason why so many of us don't start is because we're waiting to make the money that we think is useful. I will agree with you that there's some money that will change your entire savings and investment portfolio. I agree with you 100%. Like, I believe that there's some opportunities you can't take with 150,000 naira savings and investment. Like, no, like, genuinely speaking, give you an example. That I started investing in one stock, it was at 100 and something, but I was still playing small. Now the stock is at 400 or something as of this year. If I had enough money there and I put like 20 million into that stock at the time, now that is at 400 or something, like it's like 4 times, like quadrupled. So, but the point is, because now I know, if I make more money, I know what to do with it. But if I didn't start before, eventually, even if I make 500 million tomorrow, I will find a reason to spend it on something that is not worthwhile. So even if it's 1K, like I know that it seems very insignificant, but even if it's 1,000 naira, even if it's 250 naira, like something that builds the discipline is like, I feel like some of these things, and like just me always say, it's building the muscle of saying this is what I want to do. So if you say you want to save up money, it's like I'm building the muscle to save. I particularly, I'm a big spender. So I always intend, like I always have to save. So I have that system built in because I know that whatever is left, I will find something to use it for. So if I don't have that system to say I want to put money aside, eventually it would go. I think the thing of tracking as well. I know we say we don't have a lot of money, but when you track, you will realize that the 500 naira pop off that we're buying, and I'm using the lowest amount of money that I can think of, it's adding up. I remember I was checking by middle of February, I've spent my entire February budget, like the second week of February. And I looked at it like, okay, I cannot spend as much again in the third and fourth week. And so we crashed all of our spending for the entire remaining 2 weeks into like minus because we're like, in the first 2 weeks, we have spent a lot. And so you see, uh, it's literally about, it's like if I did not know that there was something that I had done in the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't know how to correct it. And so it's that way to also get it as well. So he said I should show you how to make money. Honestly, I'm also still looking for how to make money. And then I just mentioned to you that an opportunity came and I could not take it. I think making money is very easy said than done. It's not the easiest of things. Everybody say convert your skills into money, but if we look at the economy of Nigeria now, for example, I don't think people are paying the value of what they should pay. But I also think that again, there's a part of you recognizing. I think the way I think about it now, with my friend that told me, my friend says he had his friend had an interview and they asked him they offered him a certain amount of money for the salary. And when he saw it, he just opened his laptop and he showed them his family bills. And he said, see, there's no, it does not match in terms of what you're offering me and what you want me to. But the context of that is if you know what you spend, you know how much you need to earn, how much you need to get. I think a lot of us we just say we want more money, but really like at what level? So and that would also now motivate you to know what you need to do. So what skills, because some skills are easy to cash out, some skills take time. And so if you are beating the drum on a skill that requires 4 years to cash out, you're wasting time. It can't give you money today. So kind of divide it and say, which of the things that I can do can give me money to survive today? And what does that survival look like for me? But what are the other things that I know that will give me money in the future? So, but then again, because I'm also a Christian, making money is there's favor on God's grace that gives people access to make money, that bring opportunities your way, that bring conversations your way, that people remember you as well. There's that part that I also believe fully with my heart. Like you can have the best value to offer, but I also believe that favor brings people your way and all of those stuff. That's how I know in terms of making money. So I'll allow just me to share.
Yes, well spoken. Like yes, well spoken. Like there's a part of favor making money, and it just reminds me of something I said a while ago. I posted it. Like I said, money is not the only currency we have. You can spend. Money is a currency. It's good to make money. That's what we're talking about. Make money, grow money, earn money. But money is not the only currency we have. We have relationships, which are currencies. We have favor, we have faith, we have opportunities. I was talking about um, me having a conversation with a friend um, a while back, just some months ago, and he just introduced me to an opportunity that I was able to make some good money from. Right? If I had said it's the money that I want to go and earn from my 9 to 5 or from my investments and all those things, not able to get that money, it will take a while actually, if I'm very sincere. But opportunities, friendships, faith, favor. And I always share the testimony of when I was planning on going for my MBA, and I kid you not, I was calculating how much I would need for my MBA because I wanted to travel abroad for my MBA, and I knew that my parents would not even help me. So I was on my own. So I was calculating how much I was going to spend. And then the more I calculated, the more headache I was having because I was like, God, how am I going to do this? How much money do I want to pay? How much? But then eventually, when I went for my MBA, I went on a full scholarship, everything covered, tuition, accommodation, monthly allowance. And then, at times, and that's why I also tell people that why you need to make money and earn money. Don't put too much trust in money because money is just it. So basically, not at the end. It means you make of it what you want to make of it, right? So earn money, but understand that there are other currencies that we can grow while growing money. And then yes, talking about our skills, fine, I know that we have the economy factor, but then there's also the part of you making the best investment, which is the investment in yourself. What courses do you take? How do you grow and hone, hone your skills? How well are you honing your skills? Right? How well are you growing? I remember one time when I was going to speak to one of my previous MDs, one of the companies I had worked before, and I just went to meet the man and I was like, I feel like he can pay me better than what you pay me now. And then the man was trying to say, He was like, yes, they are already working on something. Fine. Eventually, they increased the salaries for everybody in the organization. But I felt that mine was higher because it might have been the fact that I had I had gone there initially to have that conversation with him. So keep speaking, keep negotiating like you are your own biggest peer. Negotiate your skills. I it could be even you earning in the 9 to 5 or the personal stuff, but just keep negotiating for something better. And that starts from you investing in yourself. So yes, that's something to keep it to and add to what the family has spoken about.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any question? Please again, don't forget to fill out the form so that we can send the recording to anyone that wants the recording. But thank you again. Just for me, are there any questions? Anything else? Okay. If there are none, I'll just say that I think that a lot of these conversations it's the journey that you take. Um, Money is a very interesting thing, and I feel like the more knowledge you have about money, the better it is, particularly when you begin to implement it. So I would say that regardless of whatever stage that everybody is on the call and whoever is going to watch this later, it's more of thinking about this is where I am now, this is where I want to be, what are the resources I need to be there, what are the conversations I need to have, what are the things that I need to stop, what I need to continue to do. And everybody, including Jessica Lumi as well, everybody on this call has a journey to make to where they need to be, regardless of if no one is absolutely at the point of satisfaction or I am there, we're content, but like we know that there will still be room for growth in that. So that's the entire point of the conversation, that everyone looks at it to say, I can be better. I want to have a goal of at the end of the year, have put 150K together. And it's crazy. I'll end with this. My brother and I jokingly wanted to just start something. I think last year I started putting 20,000 naira together every month, just randomly, like just put it together. We checked the accounts, I think beginning of January, it was like, well, 1.4. And we're like, 20,000 naira. like it wasn't something that we were checking off on because it was not a it wasn't something that we would think about and say, oh, we want to just do this. But it's the same thing I'm saying to everybody. You'll be shocked, particularly if you put it in like a minimum 10 to 15% savings account. You'll be shocked at the end of the time that you're already gotten this particular amount. So please, the point is to just work on the journey. So finally, everyone can please connect with Jessica Lumi on Instagram. These are the Andrews and also on LinkedIn as well. So I want to just say a big thank you to Jessica Lumi for joining. I want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of this session. And then just to remind everyone that this happens every last Friday of the month. So by next month, the last Friday of the month, we'll have another conversation around career And if you'd like to be a part of it, just follow us on Instagram at Much Inspires, and we'll be happy to do that. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Jessica, for letting me, and have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank